The following program may contain elements not suitable for all ages. Performances are conducted by trained professionals. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, fans, to another episode of NEW Evolved. And today on Evolved, we have the highly anticipated No Disqualification World Heavyweight title match between Wild Thing Tony King and the Redefinition, Scott Humphries. But before we get down to ringside for this epic encounter, let's take a look back at the historic contract signing for this upcoming matchup, and then we will head down to ringside as NEW correspondent Colin Cross attempts to get a word with the Wild Thing before this huge championship title defense.
For 12 years, I've wanted a match like this with you. Tony, you did bring me into this business, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Some of you might not know this. Me and Tony, we were friends. Used to be, yes. He taught me all I know about the business, and to this day, I'm very thankful for that old Tony King. But something happened, my friend. You changed. You're out here in your suit, drinking wine, acting like you're a big shot.
I'm a champion, baby.
I understand where you're coming from. But boy, you have no idea what's about to happen tomorrow. I am the toughest wrestler in this business. I said I am the toughest wrestler in this business! So enjoy your glass of wine, Tony. Kick back and relax, because you know what? The thing that changed with me is that doesn't control me anymore. I've been sober for almost 2 years. My mind is so clear, and I know you're clouded by all of that. And one day, and that day will be tomorrow, your kingdom will fall.
Here we go. Every single contract signing in the history of professional wrestling just breaks down. There's no... Wait a minute, what? I think that might be one of the smartest things Travis Canyon has ever said. These men need to leave each other alone before the fight. You don't want to risk a high-profile match like that being disregarded for a stupid injury.
Security, referees, keep them back.
There needs to be some sense of calm here. See, look, of course, it would be Scott to be the one to jump somebody. There's no, where's the control? Where's the sense of being in this ring right now? Get him out of the ring. He doesn't deserve to be there. If this is the kind of way he's going to act in such a high-profile thing, that's not your belt. Don't touch that belt. That's the King's title. Oh, now he signs it. Once he stole the spotlight once again, now he's going to sign the contract. You just signed your death certificate, Scott Humphries. That's the closest you'll ever be to that belt.
Again, we're here outside the Wild Thing, Tony King's dressing room, looking to get a word with our champ before his match against Scott Humphries tonight. Let's see if he's around. Tony, I'd like to get a word with you.
Get those cameras out of here. Get out of here right now.
ladies and gentlemen, we're back on an episode of NEW Evolved here, and we're going to start this episode off with a great NEW Championship match. The champion's on his way to the ring, Wild Thing Tony King.
The king of... Yeah, see, I was going to go through my whole spiel, like, the king of the... these guys, they don't like each other. This is going to be a fight.
These guys are former best friends, and it's sort of broken down over the years, and Scott Humphries is certainly taking it to Wild Thing Tony King right now. This hasn't even got into the ring yet.
Oh, I don't see it being really much. Like, there's a natural hatred between these two men. And you know what it is? And I'll tell you what it is, because you're going to want to hear it. It's Scott is jealous that Tony's the man. Scott can't handle it. It's okay to be jealous of the king.
I don't think Scott's jealous over anybody. I think Scott's very confident in his abilities, and he's a well-rounded individual. Certainly has overcome plenty of obstacles. A strong individual. As we see Scott here duck under a clothesline tent.
You know, there's one thing he
and
can't
a drop kick on Tony King here.
He can't overcome the Wild Thing. He can't move him.
Well, he looks to be well on his way to doing it right now. Tony backed off to the corner there for a second. But here's Scott. What's he going to do here? He has Tony lift up here. Scott with a belly-to-belly overhead suplex. And Scott playing to his fans and the audience here at the CLB Armory right now.
They're not going to help you. Don't play with him. You're in the ring with Tony King, and your idea is to play with the fans? No. If you're not concentrating 100% on Tony King, you're done. Because he will concentrate 100% on you.
Well, Tony definitely is meticulous and malicious in his art form in this ring. There's no doubt about it. Everything he's doing is strategic, including what he's doing right now. This is a strategy. He's distracting himself from getting in the ring and defending his title right now. This is a no disqualification match, so there's only... Oh my God.
Yeah. No, you're already here playing, but being outside the ring, what you're stopping Scott from going to the ring.
As I said, Tony's very strategic, and everything that he does is certainly taking advantage of this no disqualification rule.
So why do you hate the king? Why?
In this match, what he's doing is quite fine and perfectly legal. That's the whole point of this match. All of the underhanded tactics that Tony does every single match are now perfectly legal.
I don't know what you mean by underhanded. Tony goes out and wrestles, and is the best wrestler right now. So, like, whatever you're seeing that I'm not seeing, I don't know, but like he's still the cream of the crop.
Well, take this for example right here. He's choking Scott on the ropes.
Yeah.
Normally, that would be an underhanded tactic to wear down his opponent against the rules and regulations of the wrestling matches here in New Evolution Wrestling.
They have to fight.
1, 2. Scotty kicking out there, and obviously Scotty is going to kick out here. Tony knows he's not going to beat Scott. He's just forcing him to kick out, forcing him to use energy. And here's Tony choking Scott again, and the referee's not even counting. He's pleading with Tony to do this the right way, but obviously Tony doesn't have to.
What do you do it the right way? Justin Crickard is there to count 1, 2, 3, or to ring the bell when someone gives up. You might as well leave the two of these men alone. I've seen the two of these guys go before, and you've just added experience and extra tricks in their arsenal. This is going to be an absolute war. It's the only way to describe it.
Well, this is an absolute war. It's not going to be. It is, and it has been from the get-go here, as it never made it into the ring before it started. The bell sounded after the action started. You see Tony here trying to set Scott up for his finishing move. Scott going for his double underhook tiger bomb. And Tony with a knee to the face. What a stiff knee. What's Tony doing here?
Backpack cradle over.
That's a devastating maneuver. It's not something I see normally here in New Evolution Wrestling. Referee in position 1, 2.
You got to pull out everything. You're the one that said how resilient Scott Humphries is.
Well, Scott Humphries is one of the most resilient people I've ever met. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to take more than that to keep him down.
Yeah, that's a frightening thing, because that move would keep most normal people down anyways.
100% agree with you. You see Tony here setting up a chair. Oh my God!
And a running kick to the chair.
Well, I don't know what Tony had planned, but it looks to me like Scott seen a plan of his own with that chair.
Yeah, Scott's irrational. Scott's wild. You don't know what he's thinking. You can say all about this. Scott doesn't have a game plan. He just goes.
That's his game plan.
That's not a game plan. That's an etch-a-sketch. I'm sorry that you support there's something wrong. Yeah, I get it. Yay, Scotty fought his demons. Those demons got that kid messed up. He's gonna hurt himself. And he's gonna hurt himself and still lose to Tony King.
Well, it looks to me like the fans at the CLB Armory don't feel that way. As you see, Scotty is, having his way currently with the champ on the outside of the ring.
Tony just needs to stop and just relax. Get your breath. Breathe. Deep breaths. What is he going for now?
This Scotty spends a little bit of time shimmying to the camera girl here.
He's just... Don't do that. He's just...
This guy just exudes confidence to be able to do that and refocus right back on your match afterwards. How many more weapons are they going to throw in the ring here? They already have 2 chairs. What is this? They're adding a table?
Don't see that table going anywhere.
That looks like a very thick table.
This problem that you are letting wild men like him dictate the paces of these matches.
There's no letting. This is a no disqualification match.
Tony is the
Whatever
champion.
happens.
How much disrespect do you have to receive as a champion? To go, here's a crazy man. Let's have a crazy match. It's not like Tony could say no. You'll strip him.
Tony here with a back elbow, and it takes out Scott Humphries here for the moment anyways, as Tony looks to be setting up those chairs.
It's not like Tony could say no. He's forced to have these matches. I don't like where this is going. Oh.
What's on the go here? What is he setting up? Oh my God, that's one of the most painful maneuvers I've ever seen in my life. As we see Scott's back just riveted right across those 2 chairs.
You got him. You're going to have to move the shot. There's no way stopping him.
Be that as it may.
Scott Humphries will never stop. He will go.
The general synopsis is that you're going to have to keep him down through more difficult means than what you would a normal person. We get that.
But they need to get over what they're getting over, because they're getting to the point now that it's getting kind of uncomfortable on the things that Tony has to do to stop stuff.
Well, it looks to me like he's trying to set up Scott in the corner here to put him through some sort of table. And Scott himself is with reversal here. What's happening here? He's on Scott's shoulders. What's going on here? And a reversal. Looks to be a suplex through the table. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back on NEW Evolved.
Welcome back to NEW Evolve. Scotty with the pinfall. 1, 2. And you can tell me as much as resilient as Scott is as you want. Tony King is probably one of the most resilient men in his province.
There's no doubt about it that even though Tony does take his shortcuts, when it comes right down to it, there's something in Tony that has a sense of resiliency as well. There's no doubt about it. Tony doesn't get to the top, by just waking up the next day. The guy is a fighter in his own right. As is Scott, what is one of his patented finishing maneuvers here? Is Scott going to try to make the pinfall here? And the referee looks like he might be in position if he does.
Tony wakes up and he's
And 1, 2, oh!
No, Tony wakes up, he sweats excellence. Don't ever discredit the game. He's going to be waiting for a long time. Scott might be giving us a scare right now, but at the end of the day, Scott's going to choke like Scott always does. Tony King is still going to be the king of bootleg.
Well, time will tell what will happen at the end of this match. Right now, it looks like Scott's in full control, and he's sort of hammering Tony in the corner here, laying in everything he's got. And he lifts Tony up to the top turnbuckle there. What's going to happen here? What's Scott thinking? Is Scott out of his mind?
They're near that table. This is not going to end well. They're near that table.
What's going on here? Looks to me like, whoa. Well, Tony just jumped off the turnbuckle there. Oh!
Oh, the back of his neck.
And it looks like to me like Tony is down and out as well after that.
It's got to come to a point that you start to get just uncomfortable. Like the beating, like, look at their bodies. The beating these guys are taking starts to get a little bit of somebody's got to give. Like,
these guys are certainly, it's taken its toll on the brutality of this type of match. And as we seen earlier, Scott fell off the turnbuckle there. And Tony went for a maneuver, I think it was a kick to the head, and they were both down, but now they're both getting back to their feet. And Tony's looking to set Scott up for one of his moves. Probably that kill switch that he used as a finisher. Really trying to put Scott away here.
Oh, and now it's just... I don't know how wise it is to get into a punch contest with Scott. I really don't. Tony throws a respectable punch, but Scott throws wild punches like...
Scott's the guy that throws the haymakers that you don't know where they're coming from or when they're coming from. And these guys are going head-to-head, face-to-face, toe-to-toe.
Oh,
you see what I mean? Scott ducking under with him. Oh, and a boot to the face. And a boot to the face for good measure from Scott out of nowhere. And he lifts Tony up and...
Oh, what a knee breaker. Running knee. How are they continuing to go?
I have no idea.
Oh, good night, Scott. Good night, Tony.
These guys are both exhausted. As you see, the referee is counting them both down here now. Even though it is a no disqualification match, these guys can both be counted out of that match. There's no doubt about that. It can still end. If Tony was smart, he would stay down.
If this match ended in a countdown, you just give Scott another reason to complain. And I think Tony just needs to end it and finish Scott off, put him in his place.
You see, Tony went for his finishing with that kill switch, and Scotty reversed it into his own finishing.
No, reverse it again.
What's going on here? And Tony hits Scott's finishing move on Scott. He's going for the pin. He's going to beat him with his own move. 1, 2. No, of course Scott kicked out of his own finishing move. Nobody knows that move better than Scott.
This is called digging deep into the bag. Digging deep into that bag of tricks that you got now. We're in extra innings. We're in overtime here now.
We may be in overtime, but we're also on overdrive, and I think these guys are, their engines are about to combust, if nothing else here.
Tony's just waiting. Just stop and stuff.
Tony looks to be setting Scott up for his finishing move again. Oh, Scott knows what he's up to. Scott knows Tony better than Tony knows Tony.
No.
Oh! And Scott hit Tony with Tony's patented kill switch finishing move. And he covers Tony. 1, 2. No!
See, this is Tony's move. Tony knows every way out of that move. Like, There was no worry. We weren't concerned at all.
And Scott backs Tony into the corner there. Now looks like to be setting him up for something. Scott with some knees to the chest, into the stomach here. And he's putting Tony up on the corner, sort of like what he did a few minutes ago. He must be trying to set Tony up for some sort of big finishing maneuver here.
They're back at that table. They're back at the end of that table. I have a bad feeling.
Well, it looks to me like there's something brutal going on here. Could you imagine a suplex off the top to the outside or into the ring?
And they're both
or if they both fell?
They're both crazy enough to do it. It's the problem here.
What's Scott doing? Scott's going for a sunset flip.
Oh.
And Tony just hangs on to the turnbuckle and flips Scott over. And that table did not break. It came down hard.
Scott 0.
I guess you can say that the table won that fight.
I told you it was a bad idea to break that table up. I told you it was not going to end well, and now you have Scott just. If you think Scott can win after such a terrible fall.
As you can see, Scott's there, and security is out checking on him, and to make sure he's okay, because of course we want this match to continue. But if not, and Tony being the
opportunist. There's no other word to describe it. We're calling him an opportunist.
Disrespectful human being that he is.
No, sir. It's a no disqualification match. You talk about how resilient Scotty is?
But you think about it, if that match had to end right there, Tony would still be the champ if Scott just could not continue.
You among anybody who defends Scott Humphries, 1, 2, it's academic. No. It was a slow count. Scotty was done. Scotty was done.
I think Scotty dug down deep for this one. Dude, you can't turn around and tell me that Scott hasn't dug down deep before. This is typical redefinition Scott Humphries. His life is redefined. His wrestling abilities are redefined. He is the epitome of redefinition. You do not know what to expect from him. As we see Tony setting up for his finishing move there.
Small package.
Tony with a small package. Wow, that's one we haven't seen from him in a long time. Scotty with a backslide in the referee position. 1, 2. Scotty looks setting up for his finishing move. And the Tiger Bomb, and the referee looks to be in position, but Scott can't make the cover.
Tony, get off.
And 1, 2. Oh!
Oh, thank God.
And you got to think that if he was able to make that cover right away, we might have a new champion right now.
But I don't got to think that, do I? Because it didn't happen. Because he kicked out.
Scott back to his feet right now. He has a chair in his hand. He looks to be setting Tony up for something. And who is that? Maverick Matt Wheeler has just hit the ring, and for some reason, we saw them backstage earlier. That was Tony's plan.
Look, here comes the Golden Boy to save the day once again. Dynamite Dylan Davis.
And then Tony just escaped with his life and his title right there. What just happened?
I don't understand. And I mean, take advantage of the chaos. Be an opportunist like you are, but like...
What just happened?
You know what just happened? The King reigns supreme. That's what just happened. That bell rang. Who's the victor? Who couldn't win the big one again?
Well, you know yourself that there was extenuating circumstances that happened there. There's
a W is a W.
On paper, that's how it looks. Unfortunately, we know the difference, and so do the fans here at the CLB Armory in St. John's, Newfoundland. As you see Dynamite there, wondering what happened. He just came out to help his friend from getting ganged up on by 2 people.
Yes, help his friend by kneeing him in the face. What a good... I wish I had buddies like that.
We both know that was inadvertent, and I think that's what Dynamite Dylan Davis is trying to explain to him there right now. that this was definitely 100% inadvertent, and he came out to help this man.
He had no reason.
He absolutely did. He knows what happens when Tony's involved. He knows what happens when Dynamite lost the NEW Championship in a similar manner.
See,
Dynamite held that title. He knows that it was Tony, with the help of Matt Wheeler, that caused him to lose it. And that's why he came out. He's trying to explain that to Dylan. Explain that to Scott right now.
see, I think it's just foolishness. Everybody's just jealous. Oh, see, oh, how sweet.
New Evolution Wrestling would like to thank the following supporters: Greco Pizza, Torbay Road; Adam Tucker Photography; TPI Travel Agent Kayla Gavin; EJ Krams Home Hardware; The Hub Printing and Catering; JC's Entertainment.